Drinking tonight, we're gonna go drinking tonight. Drinking tonight, we're gonna go drinking tonight. Tequila time, feeling fine as long as you're buying. Line 'em up and double fist. We drinking this, drinking that, drinking till we yak. There's never been a night like this. Oh yeah, Jaeger bomb time, Corona and lime. Party all night till closing time. You know that girl's gonna drive me to drinking. Drinking tonight, we're gonna go drinking tonight. Drinking tonight, we're gonna go drinking tonight.
Hey guys, this is Steve with Orlando Collector Deviants. We are here tonight with the awesome artist and cover artist, Lance Footer. How you doing tonight, Lance?
Hanging in there. How are you all?
Doing good. And of course, in the background, you got Trish making all that noise. I blocked you out.
Oh.
All you gotta do is say hi.
Hi.
So now, Lance, you have been doing art for many, many, many years.
Yes, sir.
And you are legally blind.
Since birth.
And you have some of the best cover art out there, correct?
Well, I appreciate that. I try.
Now give us a kind of a rundown of what you've been doing.
Lately I've finished Eternal Beat cover for a gentleman. I've done Werewolves of Brooklyn cover. Let's see, Alien Cheerleaders, Flesh-Eating Cheerleaders from Outer Space or something like that cover. Vampires in New Jersey, Bridgeport Chronicles. I mean, I've been busy doing indie cover art, and to me, I'm more honored to do indie cover art than the big three art, because I don't know, I think you get more respect doing the indie cover art. You don't get the popularity, but you get more respect from the writer and the author and, the editor and everybody else that's involved, So I've just been drawing every day. Every day. It's 12 to 14 hours a day drawing.
John Rupp says, hello, Lance.
What's up, buddy?
And Boris says, hooray, O.C.D. is back. Well, we were back last week, Boris, but you didn't, grace us with your presence.
John Rupp is a good customer of mine that I've got 3 covers right now I'm doing for him. So they know the sketchbook covers. So.
Yeah. Ron Baxley Jr. says, hi, Lance.
Hello, Ron.
Now, God, see, I'm not even drinking any alcohol.
Too funny.
Now, with these independents that keep coming at you, do they just reach out to you? Are they like, oh my God, we got to have you, or
Some of them reach out, but I reach out too because I see like their cover art, and I'm like, well, maybe I can improve on it. I'm like, hey, will you give me a chance and just let me see? But like 3 of the people I named is just repeat customers, like Vampires in New Jersey and Werewolves of Brooklyn and Bunny Goes to Space. It's all the same comic book company that's producing those. So, and plus I do a regular version and then a naughty version too. So they're getting 2 covers out of it also. So it's neat to have the repeat comic book companies coming to you and asking you to do another one. And it's usually I get, hey, do you have time in the next month to do something? And I'm like, yeah, I sure do. But I've been busy. I've been staying busy. That's for sure. I can't complain when it comes to that. Well, December was, I was overwhelmed in December.
but that's a good problem to have
Yeah,
to a point.
to a point. Yeah,
Because if you get too overwhelmed, then you can't keep up with everything.
yeah. I had to get a whiteboard because it was getting to that point that it was just like I couldn't remember. I have a guy that was asked me back in November to draw Dawn for him, and it was just like I kind of spaced his whole conversation. In January, it's like, "Hey, you forgot about me?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I kind of did." You know.
No, that was going to be my next question. You still do commissions for people that reach out?
Yeah, like John Rupp, I'm doing 3 sketchbook covers for him. So I've got 2 more to do after that for 2 other people. So, and then I'm doing like I think it's 11 by 14 mixed media board. I'm doing full color pictures for people too now, instead of just the sketchbooks cover. So they're getting either a pencil, original art, or fully penciled, inked, and colored original art. So.
Boris had to go to the low expectation speed dating event with the master at Olive Garden last week. Sorry. Hey, Boris, at least you come up from the Jiggly Hut speeding dating to Olive Garden. And Vernon Roderick says this guy is amazing. Oh, yeah, we know Lance is amazing. We've been friends with Lance for a few years now.
Yeah, Vernon used to go to my high school with me. That's how long.
I'm sorry,
we just we just got back in touch a couple of years ago. So it was kind of neat being able to have, somebody that I went to school with, and hang out with, and used to go roller skating with, talking to me again, because there's only, I don't know, people grow, you get friends and then you lose friends, you get friends and you lose friends, and there's always just a handful of people that's always still there, like you and Trish. I'm grateful for our friendship.
Well, and we are with you too, because we may not speak every day, but we're always there if you need something.
Yep.
Unless you need money, and then I don't know who the hell you are. Who are you? O.C.D. Steve, thank you for being a friend. Oh, that's because I'm wearing Golden Girls.
Oh, there you go.
And Lance cool NASA hoodie. See, and I should be wearing NASA because they're like 30 minutes from me.
Say. That was one of the last places I went with Melissa. You remember my sister?
Vernon says, "Hi, Lance. Good times back then."
Exactly. And more to come.
So, Vernon, now that we have you and you know him from the high school days, we need to know some stories. Because Lance isn't going to tell me these stories.
Oh, I tell them to you, but not on here.
Boris says Jiggly Hut burned down in November. Some German investors bought the property and may rebuild. The master is beside himself with grief. He hasn't been to a burrito and boobs night since the fire.
Wow.
And Ron says, Golden Girls reference, but I did not hear your reply. Yeah, I said that you were making that reference because of my shirt.
Because Lance couldn't see it.
Well, yeah, because we won't go there, Lance, because you make a fool of me every time I bring up anything like that.
I was going to ask you if my hoodie was on the right way.
Well, it does say APSA. Oh.
Okay, see, there you go.
It's good to wear things in memory of others.
Exactly.
So, how did you get your start in the comic book era, Lance? I know we've gone through this before, but it's been a couple years since you've been on the show.
Well, that's been a while. Last time was a while ago. Well, it was a while ago. Remember I had my turtle and I got in trouble for it?
You guys got the trouble on my last show.
Remember?
I remember.
Okay. and my girl back here got me in trouble. But I literally, when I was a pro cyclist, I was always still drawing, and I stopped the. That was my escape from training 6 hours a day, was to get off my bike and take a shower and eat and draw. And then it got to a point where when I left pro cycling, I said enough was enough. Trying to keep down to 165 pounds and train 6 hours a day, it was just too much. And then the art thing, I started going to conventions, and the art thing took off, and then I had to get away from that. I had to jump on the bicycle to get away from that, because it's luckily I have my dog, and we play ball sometimes during the day, because just sitting there drawing all day kills my eyes. But I mean, that's how I got back in. It was just started doing comic book conventions, and one thing led to another, and I enjoy doing the covers. But I mean, I also enjoy the original artwork I get to do to people, because tonight I had a guy send me a message. He's like, I want this print, and I'm like, it's not a print. That was an original one of one sketchbook cover, you know. So, but I mean, I've done other things too. I've done work for Marvel. I've done the Black Panther trading cards, and I've done Dynamite stuff now. So I have a contract with them. So I've done Vampirella and Draculina cards, and they're supposed to send me some more. But I mean, yeah, that's nice to have on a resume, but I think you get $3 or $4 a card, and by the time I sit there with my magnifying glass and I draw a card at one for every 20 minutes, is it really worth it? To make $10 or $12 an hour? No, not to me.
Oh, God damn it! Tell them that they need to start paying you minimum wage at least.
They don't. That's why. Most artists ain't going to tell you that. To me, I'm open, because the fact that it's the point that I have that resume that I say I can draw. I've drawn for Marvel and I've drawn for Dynamite, but people don't realize that the artists make the money at the shows and the commissions afterwards. They don't make money from the big three, and that's what's sad. Because they're paying the artist, they're paying to sketch it, they're paying somebody to ink it, they're paying somebody to color it. So, but I do all that myself, and I enjoy doing it all myself, because I've had somebody before color my artwork, and I was like, it was just like, that looks nothing like I'd color it. But that's just me. I'm picky.
Hold on one second. Vernon says he got a story about you, that he spent the night at your house and it's haunted.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, how is it haunted? You got to
Okay.
go
All right.
into detail.
Can't just bring us in and leave us hanging.
Exactly. I lived in a house in Maine. I was on 300 acres. At the time, it was about 250, 275 years old. It was a trading post for the Indians, because it was right on the river. It was a mortuary. It was a hotel for sea captains and sea people, because there was a naval base close by. So through the years, there's been plenty of people that died in it. Of course, being a mortuary, even more people died in it. So things would happen. Pianos would play. You'd smell candles. You'd see apparitions. It was a very interesting house.
Okay, Lance. Did you see the apparition?
Oh, yes. When they're hovering over your face, you see them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you would there was one room in the house that I used to have a red timber wolf. Okay. And we raised him as a pup. And, my step parents lived there. And I would say, when I would come back up after I left and went someplace else, I would come back up to the house, and they would like, why don't you go in that room? Are you still scared of that room? And I'm like, if my wolf goes in that room, I'll go in that room. And the dog would just sit there, and hair would raise on the back of his head. And I'm like, I'm not going in that room. It was a really creepy house, to a point where one of my ex-girlfriends that lived with me there literally heard somebody tap on the window and said, Lance is coming home. And she said, and about 5 minutes later, I drove in the yard.
Ooh.
No, it was on Maine Ghostbuster Ghost Hunters show a couple times.
I was going to ask if it's still there.
Oh yeah, it's still there. Yeah. I went up to visit, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 years ago, and the house still hates me because I went and opened the door, and it was like there was like something behind the door, and when I went out the door, the thing behind the door slammed behind the door and wouldn't let me come back in the house. So the house still hated me.
It probably saw you pull up and say, God damn it, I thought we got rid of him.
Exactly. But there's a lot of stories that someday we'll sit down and I'll tell you about them. But that's just one of them or two of them. But yeah, it was a pretty crazy house.
Well, see, that's Trish loves the haunted houses and all that. She has her ghost hunting equipment and all that.
Oh, I could tell you stories, Trish, that was like, But yeah, that's just like my wife just sent me something the other day. She goes, "You want to buy a house in Massachusetts?" And I'm like, "Where in Massachusetts?" She's like, "In Gardner." And she named off the house. And I'm like, that sounds so familiar. And it was right up from the ice cream bar that we all used to go get ice cream and seafood at, right? And she started looking into it. And I'm like, yeah, it's only a half mile up from Kay's Dairy Barn. And Trish, I'll have to find the name of it and send it to you because they wrote a book on it, like the bones are buried in the cellar or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and there really was bones buried in the cellar. So I'll have to find the name of it so you can look it up. But they were going to open up the house to be like a tourist thing. If you want to spend the night and all this, but it's like a 6,000 square foot Victorian home, and it's only $300,000 in New England. So no one wants to live there because it's haunted.
John says, I have 30 covers Lance has done for me. I only have like 2 covers and a couple of big pieces for my wall.
Wow.
One that I bought from him, and then when he saw it was on my wall, made me something else to put on my wall instead of that Wonder Woman.
Exactly.
And then I pissed him off because all I did was move the Wonder Woman over and put.
Yeah. Daphne. I gave you the original to Daphne.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ron says Lance did a book cover for me. He's a great guy and an excellent artist. Well, tell that to the house. The house didn't think he was a great guy.
No, not at all.
The house knows something we don't, guys.
There you go. See?
Vernon says there was ghosts occupying the place. I heard them. And let's put it this way, no offense, Lance, I never asked to stay again.
See?
It's in the Maine Historic Registry. My cousin worked for Disney for years.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Exactly. But yeah. And now lately I've been doing pinup magazines. So I did Gothic Culture Magazine, I think it's called. And they put me a whole page in that book with a little short bio of my artwork. So it was pretty cool. And then today I had another one reach out to me. So it's like, I love having stuff in magazines that, people can buy that way too,
Well, see, I can see you as a pinup artist.
That's
mostly what your work is.
Right. And that's eventually what I'd like to be known as. At the end of all this, I'd like to be like, hey, Lance, the pinup guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That way, when you open it, the staple's right there in the middle.
Yeah.
The best part.
See? Don't get me in trouble. You got me in trouble last time.
No, I didn't get you in trouble last time.
Yeah, huh?
No, your awesome art. Oh, see?
Yeah. I can't see what it is, though. What is it?
It's Ghost Rider.
All right. Mark Texera.
Okay, so if you want a turtle, I can do you a turtle.
There we go.
I got. We may have moved to an office area, but I still got my turtles everywhere.
I got Legos.
We got lots of Legos too. A lot of Legos.
Big Lego guy. Big Lego guy. I've got the Star Destroyer, the Millennium Falcon, the AT-AT Walker.
We got the Millennium Falcon, and we didn't pay a damn cent for it.
Wow.
Because where Trish works, somebody moved out because they couldn't afford their rent, left all their Legos behind, and the Millennium Falcon was one of them.
Wow.
Like you could have just sold that set and paid your rent for like two months.
Exactly.
But I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to interrupt you. What else you got? You got the Millennium Falcon. You got what else?
I got the Titanic. I don't know. I'm getting the Eiffel Tower, I think, for Christmas or our anniversary. So, my wife's got 600 or 700 worth of points at Lego right now.
So my question for you with the Titanic, is it whole or does it have a hole?
It's whole.
Does it come with the iceberg or do you have to supply that yourself?
No, it actually breaks up in 3 pieces, I was told.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. So the way it rests in the bottom of the ocean is the way it comes apart, I was told.
That's cool. I was wondering because it's more famous sunk than it is
right.
As a whole piece.
Right.
Vernon says it was coding, no art involved. And he met Stan Lee in Seattle Comic Con San Diego as well.
Yeah,
that's
Vernon.
cool. We've got to meet Stan Lee a couple times. Both times at MegaCon. One time I paid for it, and one time we got to be, because of who we are, behind the scenes, behind the curtain. Got to see where Stan Lee sleeps.
Right.
Or slept.
I guess my biggest guys would be Texera and Steranko.
Now, see, I love Texera. Okay, I love him.
Wow. I'll send you. I need to send you a video of me and Mark doing push-ups at a con one time. We had a push-up contest at a con.
Was that before or after he took his little break?
That was before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was before.
No, my best moment with him is Louis had him at his holiday show.
Yeah.
And I was dressed up as Santa Punisher. And as I was walking through, I had the bag of toys / all the guns hanging out and body parts. Somebody knocks Texera on the shoulder, points me at him. Mark stood up in front of everybody and says, "You're exactly how I pictured it when I drew him."
That's awesome.
That I was good for the rest of the day.
Yeah. I was at a show with Mark in North Carolina, and people were lined up to his table. It was Father's Day weekend. People lined up at his table, just throwing money at him. He had so much money, he was throwing it under his table, not putting it in, just throwing it under his table. My wife walked over to him with a sketchbook cover and said, just stood by this table, and he goes, "Where's Lance?" And she goes, "He's over there working." And he goes, she goes, "Will you do him a favor? How much would you charge him to do a sketch on here?" And he tells the whole line. He said, "You can wait a minute." And he sits there and he draws me a skull of Ghost Rider on a sketchbook cover, hands it back to her, gives her a hug, tells her he loves her, and says, "Go tell Lance I love him and happy Father's Day."
Oh,
I was floored. Yeah, we've been so good. We've been such good friends ever since.
Well, the first time I got to meet him, you know how I used to collect all the Funkos and stuff. I had one Punisher pop that I was getting everybody who worked on Punisher to sign the box. I was in line. I just got up there to him and asked him if he could sign and all that. I got a phone call from work, so I had to step out of line and take the phone call. And when I came back, he had given me back the Funko Pop, and I'm looking at it. He actually drew the silhouette of the Punisher on the front of the box and all that, and just really cool, you know. Understood that I had to step out of the line because of a work phone call. Told the people to wait a minute till I could come back and get my stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Let's see. Ron says one of my Facebook friends' kids made a model of the Titanic that was just accepted by the official Titanic Museum. That's cool. Vernon, co-creator of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, was from Maine. Yep, he was. I have met a lot of interesting people, but never had the pleasure of meeting Stan Lee. That's Ron. Ron says amazing, and Vernon's like, I met with and spoke to him for a great length, Mr. Scott James Doohan. Scotty. Okay. We're gonna play this game again.
What game? Wow.
Mine looks weird. I gotta keep moving it so it does.
Yeah, I've been blessed to meet some pretty amazing people and still have the same, the contact to still be talking with them, and that's like Kevin Eastman. He's supposed to be here at SE Comic Con in April, and I'm friends with Ken Scott, the original Ninja Turtle, and Ken came here last year for SE Comic Con, which was awesome because we finally got to hang out again for a little while and being at a show. And that's just like Kathy Coleman from Lost in Space. I'm from Kathy Coleman's in Land of the Lost. I'm still friends with her. And then Marta Kristen from Lost in Space. I'm still friends with her. I mean, if I don't text it first at a holiday, she'll text it to me like, happy holidays, Lance, miss you, hug you, loves. You ever in California, you're staying with us, So it's nice. I mean, I've met some people, and then I've met some people that I'm glad I didn't become friends with,
Well, Kevin's actually coming out here this year.
Yeah.
And it's like that's I don't go to meet the people.
Right.
That's not one of my things, but I'm actually going to that convention just to meet him.
Wow.
Because I've never got to meet him before. Wow. And I was not thinking of you, but I'm going to lie and say I was thinking of you when Judith Hogue was giving me a hug when I met her, the original April O'Neil from the first movie.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm sitting there like, yep, she hugging me. It was like everybody else, she kind of did the shoulder thing. With me, she did the arm over my big ass belly and everything. It's like, well, I'm getting a hug.
That's awesome.
But I've got to meet a lot of the actors for the original Turtles movie.
Right.
You know me, I'm very big with the Turtles because what covers have I bought from you? Sketch covers.
Turtles.
Turtles.
Turtles. Yeah. Yeah.
See, I should have Kevin Eastman sign one of your covers.
Well, you know what was really cool? The girl that played in The Mandalorian, that wrestler lady, what's her name? Cara Dune.
Yeah. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I had a friend go with the cover that I did, go to Florida and had her sign my sketchbook cover. So that was pretty cool. And take a photo with it. So that was pretty neat. But I didn't get to meet her. But, my book got in the hands of her.
Hey, I'm just happy with all the people we've met throughout the convention scene. You're one of them.
It's crazy. It's a small world when you start thinking about it.
I got stalking rights on Dan Parent.
Yep.
There you go. There you go.
Dan Parent. I mean, I was floored the first time I got to interview him at a convention. It's like when Trish was telling me, go up and ask him for an interview. I'm like, this is Dan Parent. He's not going to have time for me, And he said, sure. It's like, oh, son of a.
Yeah.
He actually had to do it.
And he's one of them. Now he So he recognizes us at the conventions. Hey, how you doing? All this, you know.
That's awesome. I mean, that's what it's about. It's about friendship, and if you go to a show and you're not having fun, you shouldn't be at the show. You know, just my 2 cents.
I'm going to say that.
You know,
It can't always be all about the money
no, no,
because this is not the industry for it.
no, no.
And I still say, and this is just my own opinion. It's not about the celebrities. Meeting some of the celebrities, that's cool and all that, but it's still about, for me, it's about the artists and the artwork and all that, which got us into the convention scene in the
Right.
first place.
Right.
You know, I love my comic books. Damn it.
I still haven't read one.
You've read two, though.
No. Yeah. I'm looking for somebody to pair up with that actually will do some writing for me, and I've got so many ideas, and I think now I know enough that I could probably do. I did my own comic book in the past, but I had two different writers for them. But I think now is I could probably do it myself, but I still need the writer, to help me along with my crazy thoughts that go through my head. You know, I don't know if you saw the naughty nun that I drew that sparked some hellacious controversy.
You? Controversy? No.
Exactly. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I have what's really weird about the last show that I did, I sold more artwork to women than I did guys. And I told every one of them, I said, I so respect that you actually enjoy his, and they're like, you draw beautiful women. And I'm like, thank you. And I appreciated that because, you get some of the guys that come around, and trust me, I still get them. I still get the creepers that I don't want to draw for, and the strange requests that I get. I don't mind drawing Tinkerbell, but I have limits. Okay.
I remember having this conversation the last time Lance was on. That there is limitations.
Yeah, there is limitations, and Tinkerbell hit the spot. That will always burn in the back of my head for that. Yeah.
You have to be able to sleep at night.
Exactly. I'm like, where's that picture going to be on the internet?
You're also a huge Disney fan.
Yeah.
When was the last time you got to come down here to Disney World?
I haven't gone for probably 3 years since Melissa stopped talking to me. I was like, really no sense, because that was part of my family that I wanted to be part of, and she just walked away from me. And I already have abandonment issues, and I didn't need that too. So that's the last time I've been to Disney. I think it was on a New Year's Eve, because I was drawing at New Year's Eve. While everybody's watching fireworks, I was sitting in the back of the castle drawing.
Well, I didn't mean to bring that up because
okay.
I didn't know that you and her are no longer talking.
Yeah, it's sad.
We'll have to talk about that later off the air.
It's all good. It's all good.
Let's see, Vernon. One of my cousins, real famous, wrote several books. Was one of the original founders of Alien Con.
Yep.
Well, what's his name? Do you happen to know, Lance?
No, I don't know.
Okay. And then he says, you better have fun at the convention. They're $300 for the weekend. Yeah.
Exactly.
Unless you come to Olo Comic and Toy Show, and it's only $8 a person.
See, there you go.
Kids 12 and under are free.
There you go. See, but for me, if I'm not a guest and I got to pay for my hotel and my airfare and my take, well, if I'm a guest, I usually get some kind of help. But, like I'm doing Baltimore Comic Con this year. It's going to be my biggest show. I've got my local show, SE Comic Con, in April, but I'm doing Baltimore Comic Con in September. I got my airline tickets today, and it's the cheapest I've ever paid for airline tickets, because in Greenville to Baltimore, there's a nonstop flight. And I kept watching to try to figure out when they were going to post September's dates. And it came out this morning. I got nonstop there and back for $227.
You can't beat that.
And I mean, my hotel is $750. So right off the get go, I'm $1,000 in the hole, plus my table. So I think the table was $350. So I'm $1,350 in the hole, but I'm thinking it's Baltimore. I've never done a big show like that.
Yeah, that's one of them that we still want to go do. And it's on our list. It's on the bucket list, because that's one of the last true comic book shows.
Right.
As a big box show. I know it's not a big box show, but it kind of is.
Wow. Yeah.
Let's see. We got hold on. John says Dan seems cool. He has been at the last 2 ECCs. Yeah, Dan is the awesome. If you ever get a chance to talk with Dan, Dan is one of the most down to earth guys that I've ever talked to. And I talk him up more than I talk up Lance, and I talk Lance up a lot. Let's see. Looks like Sarah Michelle Gellar. I think he's talking about behind you.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad because you're so talented and your work should be more out there than it is with the right people.
Yeah, it's not what you can do anymore. It's who you know.
Exactly. And Comics by the Bay, what's up, Florida crew? Melbourne here. Hey, I was actually watching one of your videos here about comics at Ollie's. Comics by the Bay.
He loves his comics from Ollie's.
Yep, and Comics by the Bay was doing it with the variety pack that you can get from Ollie's. Vernon, his name is Keith Brooks. His partner, okay, I'm not good with names.
That's alien. That's alien comic.
Giorgio A. Tuscaloosa, host of Ancient Aliens. Okay.
Yeah.
I got him halfway there, Vernon.
Yeah, the guy with the crazy hair on Ancient Aliens.
And Vernon says, Ron says, do some Poe characters for Baltimore. He's talking back to you, Lance.
Who's Poe?
Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh, okay.
The Raven.
Okay. I don't read much either, so okay.
Okay, they got this thing called audio now.
I know. But it's hard to get involved in a book and then still be thinking about, did I draw that line right? You know what I mean?
Ron says Mask of the Red Death. Well, see, with my job, I go take pictures all day long. Right. So I have an audio book going in my ear the whole time.
Wow.
And it's nice because I can stop it whenever and just start right back up. And I still love reading, but just finding the time to do it,
I've read 2 books, Macbeth and Animal Farm. That was it. That's the only 2 books I read, and I can still recite Macbeth.
I think we all had to in high school, didn't we?
Can you recite Macbeth?
Not word for word.
I can still recite the part of Macbeth that I had to stand up in front of the class and say. So.
Comics by the Bay wants to know, is that a hidden Mickey behind Alice?
Yeah, and the balloons.
Not very hidden.
It's not very hidden. Yeah, talking about comics, somebody Googled my name the other day, and my Cave Woman that I did for Cave Woman, the comic books I did for Cave Woman that were like limited edition, it showed up on Midtown Comics for like comics for sale page. I was like, wow, I made it to Midtown Comics. That's cool as hell.
That's awesome. As long as it wasn't the dollar bin.
No, it wasn't a dollar bin.
Ron says Poe was born in Baltimore. I think he eventually went back and died there. Ron says, easy one, do a buxom beauty in a period costume with a raven behind her.
Okay.
That'd be cool.
Well,
Make her kind of goth looking, you know. And Vernon says, I got to run. I'm working on my podcast, History of the Mafia. Take care.
take care, buddy.
Take it easy, Vernon. Thanks for coming on. We're here every week, sometimes, mostly. we took some time off after we moved.
Well, okay.
Joe says there is a Poe house here in Philly. So see, there you go. Now you got to know all about
Exactly.
all this stuff, and you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna draw some half naked women or naked women, depending on what they ask for, and I'm just gonna go that way.
Exactly. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. It's hard to do stuff specific to something like that because you might only get, I'll have 30 or 40 hours drawing something and I'll sell one print. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's where it's hard to specifically do one thing unless it's custom for somebody, But I mean, lately that's all it's been is custom for somebody. Now, I had a lady in Canada that has me do 3 commissions for her, and she wanted to pay me for all 3 of them right off the get-go. And I'm like, just pay for one at a time, one at a time. I'm like, I don't want to be, that much in debt to somebody that I know that I have to get their stuff out. Because like John Rupp, I mean, I owe him 3 covers right now. And, I'm like, hey, I had a bad day. My eyes hurt. I didn't do as much drawing today. And he's like, hey, no worries, But I mean, I guess some people are like, when you get my stuff done? When you get my stuff done? And it's just like, this is my job, but looking through this all day long is terrible.
I can imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I have to read my phone with it. I have to do, draw with it, anything. I have to look through that magnifying glass. So, it is what it is, but it's an inconvenience. I mean, that's all it is. Yeah.
John laughs and says, can't go wrong with a naughty nun.
Exactly. I think he's getting a print of that. That and Belle, my naughty Belle.
Now,
the naughty side of Disney.
you just said you had to use the magnifying glass to read your cell phone.
Yeah.
So they haven't got to the point where you can like zoom it enough that you can actually see it now.
Yeah, I've got the largest fonts, and it still doesn't help. Yeah, everybody's
curious.
Yeah.
With
everybody's always like, yeah, everybody's always like, well, why? I had one guy, he's like, well, how's that phone smell? And I didn't pick it up, and he asked me again. He's like, how's that phone smell? And I'm like, how's that phone smell? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like, you got the phone right to your face. And I pulled out my magnifying glass. I was like, dude, I'm freaking blind. And he's like, oh, my cousins, brothers, sisters, relatives. I'm like, dude, it's too late. It's too late. I'm like, I'm not complaining. It was funny, but this is why my phone was so close to my face.
That's just, like I said, I have no clue. Like I said, my phone does so much shit now. I didn't even think that you would still have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it will talk to me and all that stuff, but it is what it is. I don't know. I still like to see if somebody sends me a picture. I still like to see the detail. I don't want to have to zoom in because then you zoom in, you miss half the picture. Or, you know what I mean?
I totally trust me. trying to do little things here and there. You hit the wrong button and it zooms in, and then you lose everything. It's like, how the hell do I get out of this now? And
exactly. And it's like me and technology with this iPad right here. You know how long that took today?
I own an iPad just because of my work. That's it.
Well, see, I own my iPad. That's just like my computer. My computer powers my Wacom tablet. So I got like a giant Wacom tablet. and that's what powers my tablet to draw on. So it's basically like a large iPad, right? Like a six times the size of an iPad. Okay, so my daughter comes up here and she's like, "Well, why is your computer making so much noise?" And I'm like, "I don't know." She goes, "Look," she goes, "When did you last update it?" I'm like, "Update it? What is that?" I'm like, "I don't use it to power my tablet." And she's like, "Dad, you've got updates from like 6 years ago." And I'm like, "Well, that's probably why it's running slow, I guess."
You sound like Trish.
I mean, I didn't even have Facebook on my iPad, so
Well, like you didn't have to download Facebook just to get on StreamYard, though, right?
no. But I had to get the link. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. It's all good. I figured it out. It's working.
well,
It's
I'm
working.
sorry. I thought you were on Messenger. I'm
That's-
sorry.
That's all right.
You could have texted me and said, "Hey, look, I can't get the link. Send it to me a different way, damn it." I was like,
That's all right.
I would have said, "Okay,"
Okay, why?
because
Freaking blind guy.
I also realized that when I went to go, it's like, oh hell, I'm not even friends with Lance anymore.
I don't have any friends.
Well, I'm like, well, he said he was shutting it down, especially when Trish said that she was going to get hold of you through Facebook. I'm like,
Right.
well, you got to go through Low Vision Studios.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, he's on here. I'm like, he shut it down. What do you
Yeah.
mean he's on there?
Yeah.
Oh, he has like 200 followers now. I'm like, he lied to me. He just wanted to get rid of me.
I got followers. I don't have that friends. There's a difference there. But yeah, it's I don't know. It just gets to a point that consumes your life. You know what I mean?
Oh, trust me. I'm married to somebody who loves TikTok and Reels and stuff.
Well,
I do.
I listen to them. I mean, that gives me something. You know, you can just sit over there with you still keep drawing. But I mean, that gets to a point too that it's so time. It's TikTok. It's like you're taking away parts of your life. It's like, how much time did I waste today listening to TikTok? Or Yeah.
Well, my thing is, I tell her, look, I have the $700 TV that's mounted to the wall playing, and you're looking at a screen itty bitty on your phone.
Yeah.
We got problems here.
She see. Yeah, now here's something I know. You can just take your phone downstairs and do screen sharing and buy it right to your TV.
No, because I won't let that happen because I don't watch them little. Look, I do TikTok for the advertising purposes of what we do.
Right.
I don't look. I'll be honest. Like with the Facebook and all that, if it's not for any of the advertising stuff, I don't go on Facebook.
Wow.
See, whenever I go on Facebook and just like, let me just see what's going on, it's always advertisement. Somebody's bitching about this. Somebody who I don't like and I don't know why they're on my Facebook is there.
I've dealt with, I had 35 like freaking likes on my art page forever, right? So now I'm trying to go and do the algorithm to keep up. I got 9,700 people. I've got over 6,000 people in the past like 6 months come to my art page. And now I'm dealing with, let's just say, not nice pics of, because I don't know what it is. I think guys, they see artwork of girls and they think a girl's drawing it. I don't know what it is, but I am so tired of getting pictures from gentlemen. Let's just say that, okay? So I don't get in trouble.
Did they send you D pics?
Yes.
Oh.
And they're like, "Hi, sweetie, I love your art." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm a guy." Oh. I'm like, "Why are you sending me pictures like that?" And my wife is like, "There's no way." And I'm like, "Oh, you want to see? Here's 2 that just came in."
See, what you need to do is take one of them. Just take one. Doesn't matter which one. When somebody sends it to you, send one back.
Send it back.
And say, well, you sent me yours, so I'm going to send you mine.
Yeah, my luck could be the freaking FBI, and I'm freaking in trouble or something. 2 o'clock in the morning. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah,
That's just the haunted house.
I get the T picks, the C picks, and the D picks. Yeah.
Well,
I
you can,
guess it's part of the course. I guess I don't know.
they just want to make sure you know how to draw the anatomy
Yeah,
correctly.
exactly,
There you go.
exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I've it's been crazy, but I enjoy the craziness. I enjoy the fans. I enjoy the people that are constant customers of mine. I mean, I had a guy drive 6 hours to Tennessee to come see me at a show, and I did a sketchbook cover for him while he was there. Luckily, I brought my markers. I did a sketchbook cover for him while he was at the show, and I was honored that he drove 6 hours to see me. It's people, it's customers like that. It's just like it's like John Rupp saying he's got 35 covers. I mean, you know, I've got some guy that's even got more than John. I think they're in competition with each other. I don't know, but you know, I'm so grateful for having those people because people don't realize this is how I pay my bills. You know, this is it.
Yeah, I love you, Lance, but I'm a broke ass bitch.
It's
I can't,
okay.
I can't have 30 covers.
Well, it's all good. But you got two.
I do got two,
Say.
and I just love the people. And tell me you still that you don't get this still. Um, People who come up to you at the convention or whatever. Well, what do you mean I got to pay for it? I
Oh yeah.
mean, you have a lot of them right here.
Oh yeah, I still get that. They still get here. I mean, Kay, can you draw me? Yeah, I can draw you. Well, how much will that? When can you get it done? And I'm like, well, this is what I charge to do it. And they're like, you don't do it for free? No. I'm like, what do you do for a job? And they're like, well, I'm a tech for a Geek Squad or something. I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring my computer to you because I need it to be faster. You going to do it for free? No. There you go. But a lot of people also still think that if it's digital, it's just a click of a button, and it's done. And it's just like that's not how it works either, unless you're a tracer. And I can tell you right now, 80% of the comic book covers have been traced.
Oh yeah.
And it's sad. It's sad because I can go reverse the images and find you the images that they got them from.
Oh yeah. No, I've seen that. Especially like on Superman covers.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of it with Superman. A lot of the same covers traced, redone.
Yep.
Maybe the suit's different or the shading's a little different, but it's the same exact color. You know what I mean?
And it's sad. I mean, I'd love to. I don't know. I'd love to draw something for Lady Death. I think that would be a highlight. You know what I mean? Meeting Brian and drawing something for him. I think that'd be something I'd like to do. I think he'd be a cool guy to draw for. But the time's not right. When everything falls into place, the universe will let me know.
Oh yeah. Ron says I have a retort for those guys, but I do not want to offend you. The ones that send you the pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
And Monster Manor says, "Hey guys, hey Monster Manor. Monster Manor is another podcast that is on Saturday nights, along with Boris way up there. Because I think we must have bored Boris.
He didn't hang on long enough for the picks.
Exactly. Yeah.
If Boris would have been here, we would have heard a lot more about the picks.
Too funny.
Monster Manor is also the official podcast of the Olo Comic and Toy Show.
Well, see if he'll have me come on his show.
You gotta be horror.
Okay.
They are all about the horror. And
Okay. If I had it, I would show him right now. I actually am invited to a horror con. I did a female Chucky in my style, and you can see Chucky in the background, and it was for SE HorrorCon next year. Well, this year in September. So I do horror stuff too now. So
Ron says I'm against the whole AI art trend too.
exactly.
I've seen people doing it, but I haven't. I haven't physically gone on and looked at it myself. I've just
You,
heard a lot of people do. Like I said, I don't go on and do all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
I heard that this AI thing can even write a whole book for you now,
Yep. Yeah.
and it's like, what's the point?
Exactly.
If you're having an AI do your art for you, or you have um um or write a book for you, what's the point of even getting out of bed?
Yeah. You're not creative anymore. I mean, why? I mean, that's not that's not a God given talent having somebody else do something for you. You know?
Monster Manor, yes, I am doing work with Jay Moulton. I gotta check it out, man. I just did a commercial for SC Horror.
See, SC HorrorCon.
Yep,
I'm a guest at SC HorrorCon.
that's cool. And then Ron, but can the AI write it well? I don't know if it can.
Either.
You would hope so, because I hear that kids are using it in school to do their papers now.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
the one news thing I was watching on TV said, like, somebody got like a B or C. They had the AI do it for them, and they got like a B or a C. So they were happy with the grade.
Wow. Hell, I'd been happy with it. See, in school.
Okay, Lance, we're coming up to the 9 o'clock hour. Is there anything you'd like to tell everybody, where you're going to be, where they can see you, where how they can get hold of you, how to get a commission from you?
I mean, go to my art page, Low Vision Studios, Art Lance Footer. You can just Google my name, Lance Footer, and my website will come up. Um, I'll be at SE Comic Con. I'll be at Baltimore Comic Con this year, and I'll be at SC Horror Con in September as a guest. So, and I will have the promoter is actually going to be printing my female Chucky to put for like the VIPs. So, um, SE Comic Con's my local show, so I bring everything there. And, you can always find my art page on, Google, or, just Google my name, Lance Footer. It'll come up.
Ron
Yeah.
wants to know, when is SC Comic Con?
It's in April.
In April. Probably
Yeah.
April 8th, right? Oh, what?
I don't know. It's in April. I don't pay attention to that stuff.
I just gotta be there. I don't care.
Exactly. My wife's like, it's time to pack your shit. Let's go. That's kind of like when I was a pro cyclist. Everybody was like, it's not my first rodeo when we go to a race, and everybody's like, well, you got an hour before you have to get on the track. And I was like, yeah, okay. And they're like, they'd come back 15 minutes. You got 45 minutes to get on. I'm like, this is not my first rodeo. I'll get there when I get there. I'll be on time.
But
But
you're blind. How are you gonna find your way?
exactly. That's my hardest thing, was when I fly by myself. That's hard, because luckily in Baltimore I've got friends up there. That's going to help me. Florida was the same way. I love to come back and do your show and Louis' show, but it's just too expensive right now. You know.
Ron says it's April 15th through the 16th.
See, there you go.
There you go. A week after my show.
There you go.
That's good.
See, that means you could drive up here and go to that show.
You
Just-
realize how dead I'm going to be that next weekend, right?
Oh, I know. Like I said, I've seen the good and the bad and the ugly of promoters.
Like I told you, it's all in Florida too.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's basically, how you can get in touch with me, and I'm a fair, honest person. If I don't have time to do something, I'll tell you, but I can put you down for the next month or something, But, I try to make all my customers happy, Everybody says I still give away my artwork, but to me, I would rather make some money than not make any money. You know.
Well,
So,
you make a certain amount of money per appendage showing, right?
right. Yeah.
Yeah, see,
There you go.
and and what positions they're in, and
There you go. There you go. Let's not get into Tinkerbell stuff, okay?
okay. Well, I leave Tinkerbell alone. I don't mess with the mouse. Okay.
I'm not afraid of them.
Hey, I'm not afraid of them, but when you live here, yeah,
Well, I know that's what everybody always said, though. You can't draw Disney stuff and come to Florida. And I'm like, why? I said, I've been contracted through Marvel, so why can't I draw for Disney stuff? Right?
yeah.
I mean,
Well, hey, all I know is we're Florida. We've actually, we're slapping the mouse across the back of the head and said, "Listen up, you're in our neck of the woods now. You abide by us."
exactly.
So
Exactly.
we'll see how that goes next month.
Exactly. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, hang out for a couple minutes after the show, and we'll talk.
All right, brother.
Okay, guys. Once again, this was Lance Footer, cover artist extraordinaire, pinup artist. See, now I'm going to add that. Make sure every time I say Lance Footer, pinup artist.
I like it.
And I don't know who we got for next week because it's become a pain in the ass to try to get people sometimes. And
I'm working on it.
Ron says, Lance, it was great to see you again.
Good to see you, buddy.
And with that, April 8th, week after MegaCon, if you can't afford to get into MegaCon because a lot of people can't, or you don't want to stand in that line or feel like a salmon's trying to swim upstream, at the Rosen Plaza right next to the convention center, you got Olo Comic and Toy Show, April 8th, Saturday convention, $8 a person to get in. Kids 12 and under are free. We're going to have comics. We're going to have artists. We're going to have crafters. We got a little bit of everything going on. And we're going to actually have Ron Baxley Jr. there.
Awesome.
And with that, guys, we will see you next week, hopefully. Well, I'll see you. Lance won't.
I won't see you.
You won't see. There's my blind joke for the night. And with that, guys, we will catch you guys later. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
Drinking tonight, I won't remember any of this in the morning. I won't remember any of this at all.